Patricia, I just have to say, I'm so grateful for you. To my listeners, I just had the most beautiful 7-minute love fest from this fabulous woman,
Mhm.
and I am feeling filled with appreciation. I feel seen, I feel heard, I
Mhm.
feel known. And it is reminding me of what a safe place this podcast is for me. And I hope also for you as the listener, and most certainly for the amazing women that I get to host. And I'm so thrilled that today it's you, Patricia. So thank
Oh,
you for
good.
being here.
You're welcome.
That was
And
just so generous of you. So thank you.
well, everything that I said is the truth. I was telling for the audience, Wendy, how she comes across, and even from the music that begins the podcast, it's everything she is. She's a very kind, very elegant speaking professional, and it comes across with everything she does, everything she says. I'm sure they all agree.
I'm so delighted.
Mm.
It's so interesting. You had mentioned again so graciously, and I promise not to talk about myself this whole time, but you mentioned the long time divorce process that, of course, my
Mhm.
listeners know about. And it's just fascinating. And I'm sure you find this with your clients as well, that when we say yes to ourselves, when we make some significant life changes or just catch up with the woman we became in the process of whatever else we've been doing. And the things that maybe we thought were not superpowers, and maybe we thought were things that other people didn't appreciate, so that they're not worthy of
Mhm.
appreciation.
Mhm.
Um, And when we find out that that is our niche, when we find out that that is what draws people to us, it's
Mhm.
just fun. It's like, oh, wait, it gets to be easy. I get to just do what I'm already good at, and
I
people want
right.
to be a part of that. Okay, where do I sign?
You get to be you. Hmm.
Yeah. And I know that's the premise of everything that you do.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so I want to hear more about that. I know you have like your signature program I want to talk about. I want to talk about the podcast, all the things. But I would love to hear first, how are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
Well, because I am kind of a groupie and I listen to a lot of your podcasts, I knew that was going to be a question, so I'm
Thank
ready.
you. I'm so
Um,
glad.
for me, I say yes to myself at this point in life because I would like some new, unique experiences.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that. Well, your question definitely made me think of that, but I didn't realize it until I went to a bagpipe festival. Now, I mean, I've heard a bagpipe before, but I've never heard 50 at the same time
Oh my
for
goodness.
4 hours. And it was, yeah, it was over the top. However, I looked at that and I thought, okay, this is a culture I don't even know about. This is an experience I've never had in my life. When all those bagpipers came in and they, well, the songs to me sound all the same, but to these other people, I could tell they didn't because I watched them tap their feet. Pretty soon they got up and they started doing some kind of a dance that I've never seen, and they wanted us to get up and do it. Well, no, because I don't know, I don't know that dance. But it's some kind of a Scottish dance that they get up and do. And it doesn't matter if it's two girls, two boys, that's just what they all did. And they got in a lineup and then they went down the middle of the line. And it was quite fun to watch. And all of a sudden, out come the dancers that literally dress up like the bagpipe people. And they start dancing and doing their wonderful dance. It was so exquisite, and I thought, I want more experiences like that. It
Wow.
might not be that I'm Scottish, it might not be that I am into 50 bagpipes at once because my ears did kind of hurt at the end.
For
But
sure.
but that really introduced me to it's time to open up the gates and look out there and see all the different experiences there could be. Was that a
Oh
good answer, Wendy?
my gosh, it's beautiful. I love that for you. And I love that. I I love that question. Of
Hmm.
course, I ask it to every single guest, and I love
Hmm.
that I never get the same answer because it's so personal,
Yes.
but it also requires some thought.
Yes, yes.
And
It's a great question. It's probably one of the best questions I've heard because I doubt that a lot of people say, I'm going to say yes to myself today. I'm going to do exactly what makes me happy and excited. I mean, it probably does not happen. So I love the question, Wendy.
thank you. I desire to normalize saying yes to ourselves
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
to create as many opportunities as I can. So you don't even have to think of a way. You could just say yes to the experience that I've already created on your behalf. It's so fun. What I love about your answer as well is this embracing of a beginner's mind of seeing something new and not discounting it because it
Hmm.
hasn't been in your experience before, but
Hmm.
having yourself in a place of curiosity and discovery and to think, what else don't I know? What other
Hmm.
wonderful things are
That's right.
happening that I want to be a part of? And it's so fun to, I'm assuming, just in the magical 14 minutes of being in your universe, is that you're not a person that requires whatever this new thing is to fill out an application. Like you're going to say, gosh, that feels like a yes. I'm going to go over here. And then I'm going to say, okay, maybe not 50
Hmm.
bagpipers in one place. Maybe earplugs next time. Maybe an outdoor event.
Hmm.
Maybe I'll be in Edinburgh when that happens. Like whatever, you're allowing yourself to fine tune your next experience based on what's happening now instead
Hmm.
of shutting down. I've had all the experiences I meant to have, and now I'm just going to wait it out.
Oh yeah, it's just opened all the windows, doors, and gates for me. And I was sitting next to a wonderful woman. And see, I just love it when you start saying to people, well, tell me about you. And she starts telling me that for 30 years she was a train operator. I mean, she operated these trains. She was a conductor. At first, I thought she was a conductor of music because
Okay.
I thought, well, yeah, I know what a conductor is. And she said, yeah, so the train was quite large, and 30 years I drove that. I'm like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, you're a conductor of a train. I mean, and it was so fun because she then said, I see that you tapped your foot and you like that dancing going on. We have a dance that goes on every second Monday of every month out at the Grange Hall. And I said, the Grange Hall. And she said, yes. So this next Monday, I'm taking an Uber along with my husband, who's saying, what are we doing? We're going to the Grange Hall and we're just going to watch them dance, and we might dance and we might not. And we might go back and we might never go back. But we have to just be open to that. I was thinking, when I was thinking about what to say to that question, I go to the same restaurants all the time because I know I'm going to get great Italian food here, great Chinese, whatever. And now I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, I'll go back there, but I want to try and experience all kinds of different restaurants to see what they're like. So thanks to you, Wendy,
Oh my
and that
gosh, that's
question.
so sweet. I love that. Now, is it the bagpipers that have opened up this portal of goodness and discovery for you? Or has this been a lifelong practice? Or what has shifted?
You, your question.
No.
Yes. I mean, when
Oh,
when you started saying to people, as I'm listening to podcasts one after the other, and you're saying to each person, uh, when did you say yes to yourself? Or what do you say yes to yourself about? You can ask it a million different ways. And I realized I have never even thought about that. I've never even thought in that direction. So it's time to say yes to yourself, that you're open to meet new people, learn a new dance, start singing if you love to sing. It was your question. And I realize, in my life, when I've asked people about different gifts that they've had, one of the gifts that they come up with for me is you ask the most pivotal and life-changing questions. Well,
Mm.
you do also. And your
Mm.
whole podcast is around that question.
I love you. Thank you so
Well,
much.
has nobody ever said that to you before?
Not like that.
Okay. All right.
Thank you. Received. I know that I am doing good work. I
Yes.
know that it has impact. I know that I get beautiful love notes from people. I love this opportunity. I love that I am 57 years old and I have a microphone and I am not afraid to use it, and
Hmm.
that people are having a benefit from that, and I am benefiting from that. The ripple effects are so amazing. And I
Yes.
have had listeners reflect back the impact. I have not had any of those listeners as podcast guests. And so that's why I'm like feeling, wow, thank you.
Hmm. Hmm.
Thank you. I feel like Sally Field. You like me. You really like me.
That's
But
good.
it's true. Like, I think we know what we know, and it's lovely and delightful to be reminded.
Mhm. Yes. Well, and when I'm dealing with people, the reason I chose women entrepreneurs over 50 for my people is because we forgot about ourselves for a very long time. And while we're raising children and we're taking care of husbands and we're making the dinner and we're taking care of the home and we're going to work, most people, um, it is very difficult to say, well, when was the last time you thought about yourself?
Mhm.
Oh, well, what are you talking about? And when I ask people, well, tell me what you're really wanting to do now that you're an empty nester and it's time for you to step out,
Right.
the answer is the same. I have no idea. And it's from most people. So I know there's a real need for your program and for what I do also,
Yeah.
because we need somebody in our corner that's going to look at us, hear us, and say, I can help you with that. Let me just ask you some questions and maybe lead you down this path with your gifts and with your talents that you already came in with. You have them already. And so then I'll say, well, what is your gift? What do you think one of your gifts would be? And they're like, oh, I don't have any gifts, because they think, playing the piano or the clarinet is a gift. No, no, no. We all have a gift. You heard what I just said. One of the gifts that people told me is that it's the questions that I ask.
Mm.
Well, who would think that questioning people would be a gift? But it is. But
Right.
I listen also. I listen very intensely to a person and then strategize with them. And that's a different animal, because I also discovered I cannot teach people how to listen. You
Mm.
either are a really deep listener or you're not.
Mm. Well, and I think what I recognize about your giftedness in asking questions is that there are some people who ask questions and it can feel more like an interrogation.
Yes, yes.
And then there are people who ask questions and it feels like an invitation.
Hmm.
And you ask questions in an invitational way.
And I had to separate that for people, because the interrogational question is so offensive, isn't it?
Mhm.
It's just when they start interrogating and just kind of ripping into you. When did that happen? Why did it happen? Do you know anything? I mean, it's just awful. But when you are really helping a person with themselves and thinking, just like you said to me at the beginning, Wendy, it's a question that makes you think. And you're absolutely right. You have to think about, uh, when did you say yes to yourself, or how do you say yes to yourself? or when are you going to say yes to yourself? Like I say, you can say it many different ways. Um, and when you find the person like myself who has written a book, and by the way, I only got one copy because I don't want to release it. The name of it is I Forgot About Me. So
Mm,
there's something in there where I didn't feel I was heard or was listened to also. I have a microphone, so now people have to listen to me.
that's right.
Hmm. Hmm.
How long have you been doing this work and serving this beautiful demographic that I am in, women over 50 that are looking for their niche? How did that get started and how did you land on this signature program?
Yeah, so I was a school teacher many years ago, and I just remember those little children coming up to me saying, Mrs. Drain, I don't know what to be when I grow up. And I'd say, honey, don't worry, you're in the second grade.
Right.
I would reteach those people today, those little tiny beautiful children, and I would dig for their gold. I would start asking them about their gifts and their talents. And when they grow up, what could they do with that talent? I definitely know I would teach differently. But when I did grow up and I became a business owner, I owned an executive recruiting staffing firm for many years in Phoenix, Arizona. And so I had to ask questions. I had to get to know these people if I wanted to place them the job that they wanted. And that's when I discovered that most people did not know of themselves at all. And so they would come in and they would all say the same thing. And they all thought they were unique. They would say, Patricia, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Right. And so that's when I wrote the book, What Should I Be When I Grow Up, now that I'm 40, 50, 60,
Ah,
because uh, it's not our fault. Nobody helped us to know that. Not one person in my life ever said, Oh, Patricia, you know how to ask questions. You know what you could do with that when you grow up? Never did that
right.
happen. And it never will happen, by the way. It's going to have to be an offshoot of some sort where people really go to get to know themselves. But as they were asking me, what should I be? The second question was, oh no, now I have to find a niche. I don't know what it should be. Oh, have you ever thought that maybe it's your gifts and your talents would be your niche? Well, I don't have gifts and talents. Do you see what I mean? And then we
Yep.
go back again. And so, naturally, I put a course together called Your Gift is Your Niche.com to help people. I wrote the book, What Should I Be? I wrote another book, Discovering Your Core. I just kept teaching through my writing so that maybe I could help people get to where they need to be without having to hire me as a coach or a business mentor. But I discovered that people need that many times. They need you walking with them
Right. It's the
to
integration.
yes, yes, and the community. It really is. And so that's why just maybe within the last couple of years, I chose women entrepreneurs over 50 because we're different. We're experienced,
Mhm.
we know more. We don't get that paycheck every 2 weeks like other people do.
Mhm.
It's and we're also very creative and we have to be creative. If we're not, it bothers us. We have to be productive. If we're not, that bothers us. We're a different breed, and I did not realize the difference for a very long time.
Right. Oh, that's so fascinating. One of my trips last summer to France, I lead culinary trips for solo female travelers. And we were all at a lunch table, and my co-host for that retreat was talking about how she was an art major, but that she went into a different line of work. And so started asking everyone at the table, like, if you had it to do over again, what would you do
Mhm,
differently? And they were all saying about these creative pursuits that they loved so much, but
mhm,
there was an opening at their father's business and they had to go to do that and like all of the things. And as we were going around the table and I was listening to all of this, I thought, oh my gosh, this whole
mhm.
time I thought I was doing it wrong. And now you all think I'm an expert because I've only been an entrepreneur. I have only been bootstrapping this, figuring it out, course correcting, pivoting all over the place. I've never had a resume. I've
Mhm.
never looked for a job. I don't know. And I really truly thought that I was doing it wrong.
Isn't
And
that
to
interesting?
now be in conversations like you are with your clients, where people
Hmm.
are in this beautiful incubator of reinvention and they're used to a paycheck or used to really defined roles as mother, wife, caretaker, whatever they've been doing this whole time. And to say, like, no, you can do whatever you want and you can be your
Hmm.
boss and you can, and if you have the personality of someone who is a self-starter, who has good ideas and can implement them, who has a great relationship with support, who, is an idea factory, all of these things, and can take inspired action, then you might find joy in this entrepreneurial journey. But
That's
if
right.
you need to know what the trajectory is, it might
Hmm.
be a rough ride.
That's right. And one of the things that you said that was so right is you said, I thought all this time I was doing it wrong.
Mhm.
I thought, well, I must be doing it wrong. Well, there again, I'll tell you maybe the reason, and I don't know this for sure, Wendy, about you, but maybe the reason sometimes you thought it was you were doing it wrong is because aren't I supposed to be a millionaire by this time?
Well, I thought I
If
was
I'm,
supposed to have a corporate job
yeah,
and that I hated.
yeah. That's what we're told to be.
Yeah.
Uh, but I have to talk about that forbidden topic, and I did in my recruiting firm. I had to do it every single day. The forbidden topic is money.
Yeah.
So I had to say to somebody, "What kind of a salary do you make?" And that's a taboo subject. Can you imagine asking your sister, your brother-in-law, your aunt, your uncle, how much money do you make?
Right.
It would be taboo to say that.
Yeah.
And so I had to say it. And then I had to say, and what kind of money are you looking to make in your future? And we had to go from there. Well, now it's the same thing with entrepreneurial women. Many of them, they can't even talk about money because if you talk about money, it's so taboo that they were told when they were little girls, never, ever, ever do that.
Mm,
That's not nice. You don't ever want to make money with something that you love. You should just do that for free. And yet you
mm,
still do have to pay for bread and things like that. So,
mm.
so there's a real misconception there. And I think sometimes, Wendy, I don't know in your world, but sometimes you think you're doing it not the right way because you're not making the money that you hear people making on the internet. I mean, they're on there saying I made 300,000 last month. Did you? No. And so you have to kind of pay attention to that and realize that, oh, I have to align what it is I love to do, what I know to do, and get results for somebody else, and that it's okay to make an income doing that.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
Right. You're absolutely right. There are so many limiting beliefs
Yes.
that we come up against. And they say, right, like starting your own business is a crash course in self-development because there's imposter syndrome and the pricing. And if you are a woman and you're a creative and perhaps you were raised in the church, like there's no way
Hmm.
you're charging for anything
Oh, no, no.
because like you were already told that you're supposed to do this for free, like you said.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
it can be, I mean, it's all a process, but it's also a rude awakening when,
Hmm.
we talked earlier today, and I know you listened to some episodes, so you know about my divorce process and how long that was. And a part of it was me moving through this resistance, this avoidance I had about the money,
Hmm.
about how much it actually costs to run this home and this farm and my lifestyle and my daughter's needs and all of these other things. And
Mhm.
I personally avoided the money conversation and requirements because I had a belief that because the lawyer wanted if they need all the financials for
Mhm.
the divorce. And I didn't want to fill out these forms because I thought that if everybody knew what how much money I was investing in my business and in this house,
Mhm.
that they were going to take it
Mhm.
away, that they
Yes.
were going to say, you're not allowed
Yes.
to do this.
Mhm.
You have to go get a job and live in an apartment, which are the two
Mhm.
things I am not interested in,
Mhm.
unless that
Mhm.
apartment's in Paris. But what happened when I got over my damn self and did the thing that needed to be done, and then realized, oh, I am generating money. These investments are impactful, are important, are creating revenue. And then I became unafraid of
Mhm.
it. And then because that relationship changed, because my mindset about it changed, and QuickBooks
Mhm.
is my boyfriend now, and I like to hang out with him all the time because he tells me all the good things, then it changed everything. And then I was, like you said, being in alignment, I was the match for
Mhm.
the money.
Yeah.
Before I was the match for the lack of the money
Yeah.
because I was afraid.
Well, and I'm glad you were able to put that so succinctly because many people don't grasp that understanding. And maybe you had to go through the divorce that long to
Totally.
grasp it. Mm-hmm.
Oh, everything is happening for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's not happening to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I'm not going to miss out on what's meant for me. And I know that it's all going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
So it that sustains me. I know that um I'm happy that my silliness and the beliefs that I let have a role until they no longer do. I'm happy to share those because I think, like you said earlier, when we're talking about these things, it loses its power.
Yes,
And I
it
think
definitely
what's
does.
most personal is most universal. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure
Mm-hmm.
there's another person who's not interested in looking at their QuickBooks, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
what if it was fun?
it's embarrassing to so many women, and me included, when you are not making money, the money that you know you deserve with the knowledge that you have, and how you empower other people to get their results. It is, it's maddening, and I see that with women. And the more maddening it is, the more they hold off money. It's
Yeah.
just, it's a very frustrating circle, but it's everything you were just talking about. And I loved how you said that. And for anybody who really did not hear what Wendy said, go back and listen again, because she did put that in a very clear understanding of once I let it go, you didn't say that, but once you let that go, then it was okay. Everything started happening and flowing again.
Right. We are the
Hmm.
ones that are pinching ourselves off from
Yes,
the good that's coming to us.
yes, yes, I've done that. I know
Yeah.
that
Oh my
feeling.
gosh, we all have.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, what are you finding in your work that that makes you want to keep doing it?
Well, it's the aha moments of people. It's it's the shift, the paradigm shift that people have. It's like, oh, I've never thought of it that way before. Oh, I've never seen it that way before. And that's what will always keep me going. But I'm also a student for life. I will always be learning new wonderful techniques and open to those particular techniques because I want to share what works for me and for others, because you can only share that, we can only grow as a community together to help others. And as soon as women start stepping into their power and making the money that they are supposed to make, that's when we become so empowered that We don't need the men telling us, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that. It's happening right now in our world as it will be forever. I love the woman, I don't remember her name, but she wrote something about the patriarchal society. Well, that's what we have lived in forever. And I don't knock that. I mean, I love men. I have lots and lots of men around me. But it has been a patriarchal society, and it is becoming more and more women oriented, and I love it because they're so bright, they're so efficient, they're so compassionate, and that's what I love about women.
Right.
Hmm.
And good people with money do
Yes,
good
that's
things.
right.
Yes, a few weeks
Hmm.
ago we had Nancy Griffin on the podcast, and she is doing this beautiful work between wealth and health,
Hmm.
and the implementation of those two places, and where philanthropy is holistic, and it's delicious.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
so good. I love it, and I love that you are, not only do you have this fabulous work that you're doing with these women individually, but say more about the podcast.
Well, I finally renamed the podcast. It was When Passion Meets Profit. And I, of course, still go along with that because I want you to be passionate about what you're doing while you're making the income that you deserve to be making.
Yeah.
But now I have called it Women Entrepreneurs Over 50 Who Want to Work Less, Make More, Doing What They Love. I mean, it tells it all.
There you go.
Okay, it's a
That's
very
some
long title.
excellent search engine optimization right there.
Yeah, it's really because I've talked with so many women that have already put in 30 years in their life and now they're in their 50s, 60s and they're saying, "Are you kidding? What's next?"
Right.
Wonderful things are next. Well, I don't want to work harder than I was working. I was working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Right. You can work less, make more, doing what you love, but you do need to know what those tools and techniques are. I don't know if you remember the Tim Ferriss who wrote the 4 Hour Work Week, but when
Yes.
I interviewed him, he said, "Oh my gosh, people just." I asked him. I said, "Did people get upset with you with that book? Because I know people have these thoughts and these belief systems, and sometimes they can't get over them." And he said, They wanted to burn me at the stake."
Right.
You wondered if they got mad at me. Oh my gosh. He said, "But what I want people to know is it can be done. I've done it."
Yeah.
I was thinking about a young boy, and I put this in one of my podcasts or something. Jimmy Donaldson is his name, and he's called Mr. Beast on
Yep.
YouTube. Have you heard of him? Well, he started when he was 13. He has now created $1 billion empire with YouTube videos, and he's 28. So don't tell me that it can't be done in a different way today. It should be done in a different way today.
Can you say more about that, please? Because I have a 12-year-old and she is obsessed with Mr. Beast. That's the only way that I
Oh.
know how to, that I know about him. And of
Hmm.
course, like when I'm first hearing, oh, I want to watch Mr. Beast on YouTube, I'm like, hold the phone. Who is this person? Why is he a beast?
Right.
What are we doing? Like, what's happening?
Hmm.
And so then, of course, like deep diving and seeing what a brilliant, generous,
Yes.
silly individual this is. And Amelia was just saying yesterday, I like watching Mr. Beast because he gives away millions of
That's right.
dollars, and I look forward to giving away millions of
Hmm.
dollars.
That's
I'm like,
wonderful.
yes, Queen, watch that guy all day long. It's
Yeah,
so good.
it
So
is so
I'm
good.
really eager to, I love that you're talking to Tim Ferriss, that you're referencing Mr. Beast, that you're doing these
Hmm.
things and not saying, well, this is the way that it's been working. And
Hmm.
if you're over 50, you're going to have to play the game.
Hmm.
But you're not saying that. So
No.
I'm really eager. Say more. Tell us everything we need to know.
Well, I don't want to steer people the wrong way because I do hear from I work with a lot of young people and they're my favorite people because they have all these ideas and these creativities and it's just so fun. you don't want to squelch them, but at the same time, not everybody can be Mr. Beast.
Right,
I mean, how many people do you know that have they've created $1 billion empire? That's not heard of. At 28,
right.
it's really not a normal thing to do. I want the children to aspire. Well, here's my favorite line that really, really was life-changing for me because I was born into that world of you work 9 to 5, you come home, you enjoy dinner, then you do whatever you want to do, and then on the weekends you have fun. So that was my upbringing. And that's just not a true, it doesn't have to be done that way. But one of the things that changed my life, because my dad, who worked at the post office for 50 years, said
Mhm.
to me, now, why do you seem never like satisfied? I said, oh my gosh, I'm always satisfied. Are you kidding? He said, well, you're always wanting to do other things. And I said, finally heard something from a guy named Jim Rohn. And he said, be very grateful for what you have while you aspire to have and to be more. And
That's
I
right.
thought, there you go. It's
Yep.
okay. See, it's okay to do both. And so
Totally.
to say to your daughter, I talk to 12-year-olds all the time. And my main topic when I'm talking to 12-year-olds, especially, and especially girls, is you have to love yourself first before you can really love and cherish everybody else around you. Because little girls are kind of mean and they get to a point where they compare each other and they say meaner things to each other. Um, so when I'm talking to them, I definitely never squelch what it is that they want to do. If they say, I really want to be a dancer and I want to be on the New York stage and they literally cannot dance. I'm not going to be the one to say you're not going to ever do that because
Right,
maybe they'll be the choreographer there. Maybe
right.
they'll be the conductor of the music there.
What do I know? I don't even know my QuickBooks password. And I'm telling this little kid she's not going to be on a stage
Right.
in New York.
Right.
Like, who do I
That's
think
right.
I am?
That's exactly right. Now, who do you think you are? And so I definitely hold back on that. And I also think that the more that they aspire to do and be, just like your daughter, I love, love, love that what she sees in Mr. Beast is that he's giving back millions. A lot of people don't see that. They just see Mr. Beast went viral, and the way he went viral is counting from 1 to 100,000. And I'm like, okay, I didn't watch that one. And I don't think I'm going to tune into it either. But I think it's so funny that like your daughter is following him. I'm trying to get an interview with him because, well, how fun to get into the mind of a 13-year-old and how he got on his bed one day and started jumping around and decided to make a video. It's so sweet. And then how did he become so generous when he finally became this billionaire? I mean, of course, people are saying, oh, yeah, well, you can afford to do anything. No, there are many billionaires that keep it all to themselves and would never consider putting it out the way that Mr. Beast has been. Well, we're really doing a wonderful number on Mr. Beast.
We are.
I've got to send him this.
Yes. Yeah, it is so good. And I love that this open mindset that comes from a certainty, an inner knowing, a wisdom that we each have the information of what we desire. And when we do hold space for ourselves, when you're asking the questions of your clients, when I'm asking the question of the listener, like, what does love want you to know? Or if you're have your journal
Mhm,
and you're saying, if there were no limitations, what would I be, do, or have? And then
mhm,
after you write that fun love fest, then just cross out the word if and rewrite since there are no limitations,
mhm,
what would you be, do, and have? And then we can start to first allow ourselves to have the idea of what we want and allow ourselves
mhm,
to feel good about what we want, to know what you said about being satisfied with what is and eager for more, that
mhm,
is that's really how we're built.
mhm.
We are built in the image of our creator who is creative. So, yes, there is going to be something new, something more, something next, something bigger, not because we're selfish, but because we are inspired.
Mhm. That's right. My dad was not an entrepreneur, and I really should have been my first clue on I am different and I think differently than somebody that would go for 50 years to the post office of all things.
Right?
Now, he was well, I pretended like he owned the post office for a long time until I got caught, and that wasn't fun. But my dad was I don't know, assistant postmaster or something there. So he wasn't a mailman going out, but I mean, there are those people that we need that
Yeah,
that think 9 to 5, and then we
right.
need those people. But that is not who I am, and I am somebody that not only thinks it, I know that you can work less, make more, and do what you love because I'm proof of it. And but you do need, like I say, you do need some tools. You need the information on how to do it. And probably not going to Mr. Beast to get it because Mr. Beast doesn't even know what he has done to
Right.
create this huge thing that he has created. But like I say, your daughter's name is Amelia.
It is.
Yeah, how wonderful that Amelia says, "Oh, I love Mr. Beast because he gives so much back. I can't wait to give back." Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why
And
I
she
can't
wants to
wait to hear
give
what she's
back a
going to
lot.
do.
I know, me too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She's a unicorn and
Yeah.
amazing and fantastic. Oh my gosh. So, the promise of this podcast that you're hosting, I think is a very easy yes, right? Yes, I would love to do what I love and work less and make more and all of those good things.
Mm-hmm.
And I know for me what the answer to this question is, but I'm really interested to hear what do you say to your client who says, okay, that sounds really good.
Mm-hmm.
How in the world am I going to do that?
Mm-hmm. And you know what I say? And it's really here I go with my questions. I say, "Great, let's get started. How do you want to work less? Tell me. I mean, do you only want to work one day or do you want to work 2 hours a week or do you want to work 40 hours because you really do love that and you want to give it your very best shot, but you have to know that." And it's so shocking to people because they go, "Oh, oh, is it that simple?" Uh-huh, it's that simple. Oh, okay, let's just get quickly over into the make more. Now, do you have anything that you do where you can bundle something or you can possibly have a bigger ticket that you can, say to somebody, "I'd like to invite you to come with me to Paris." Only the ticket, instead of being maybe the 2,000, is now the 5,000, and you're making more on that ticket because you're the one that's in charge of everything that they're going to be doing there. And it's okay to have a big ticket. And I always say the bigger ticket is anything from 3,000 on up, and that scares a lot of people. And so I don't know if they're going to be able to make more and work less. See, it's all inside of the person I'm working with and the questions I'm going to ask. And then the last one is, okay, doing what you love. Well, let's get going there. What do you love to do? And they literally will say, "I don't know." Okay, let's make a list of everything you love to do. And it can be gourmet cooking, it can be whatever you love to do. Second, and I call it a living list, by the way, so that you add to it every day. And then come back to that list. And what would it be that you could actually want to do a career? Because I love to cook, but I would never say that's going to be a career. Okay,
Right.
so I don't even put a C next to that, but I would put a C next to questioning people. Okay, okay, what could you do in a career where you're questioning people to get to the point that they want to get to? They want to get from A to Z. What is it you could do? Oh, you could possibly be a mentor. Okay. All right. And you start naming those things. Now
Right.
let's put a dollar sign by the things that you could literally earn an income doing what you love. And then I go backwards. And now let's go back to making more. What is the ticket item that you would like to sell? What is the result you'd like to get? And one of the best things I've ever heard is from this jewelry maker. I just heard it, so I shared it on something else. She said, I never sell the jewelry to match your pink coat or your black coat or whatever. I say to them, how do you want to feel with my piece of jewelry going out of the store? Well, that's what you want with the making more. How do you want that person to feel while you're making more money? Because otherwise, if they're not getting results, you're not going to feel good about
That's right.
making more. And then going all the way back to now, let's talk about how much you really want to work. Is it only 2 hours? Is it like Tim Ferriss, 4 hours a week? Is that what your goal is? But you have to know what that is. Do you see how it all goes back to the person?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good. And thank you for sharing that process too, because I love how it's circular.
Yes.
And as the circle gets smaller and you're pinpointing what it is, you're still checking in with those buckets of time, money, and
Mm-hmm.
passion. Time, money,
Mm-hmm.
passion, time, money,
That's right.
passion. So once you get to that circle, you've done the work. It's gone through that filtering system
Mm-hmm.
and you think, oh, I actually could do this
Mm-hmm.
instead of, someone looks at my trips and goes, oh, I could, or they plan their own wedding and now think that they're a wedding planner. And it's true, they did plan a wedding. And it's different for, different expertise and different skill level based on years of experience, et cetera, et cetera. So
Mm-hmm.
sometimes we just think like, oh my gosh, I'm watching this antique expert lead these trips to France. She's not even figuring out the hotel that they're going to stay at, and she's charging twice as much as me, and her profit
Mm-hmm.
margin is crazy fabulous. And I could look at that and compare my hard work to her ease and be
Mm-hmm.
frustrated, or I could say, huh, okay, so I guess there is a market for not doing everything for the
Mm-hmm.
client. And
Mm-hmm.
and so I did that. I looked through and said, okay, well, what if I don't include the hotel? Well, then I could price it here and here, and then that would be more palatable. But then I looked at the offer and thought, that might be more profitable, but I don't feel good about that. That's not
Yeah.
the kind of trip I want to host. I
Mm-hmm.
want my client to only have to say yes once. And I
Mm-hmm.
want to take care of all the details. And I want to have this high touch curation of the event. And I want to be with them the entire time. Of course, they can opt out of things, but I'm going to stay at the hotel they're staying at. And I'm going to be in the Uber going to the fun thing that we're going to do with them. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
meeting anybody at some place and then saying goodnight, see you tomorrow when it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I like being a part of their experience and being available for them to really float through that experience without having to look for directions or figure out what we're doing for dinner or what, if is
Mm-hmm.
this a good street to walk down. I like that. So that helped me. Okay, I went over on this tangent over
Mm-hmm.
here. I
Mm-hmm.
could do this, but
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't
And
want.
that's exactly what I want people to do, to go there and say, but do I really want to charge 10,000 for something like that when in actuality I'm very happy at this particular rate. So you have to do what's comfortable for you, or it'll never work. You
Exactly.
can go out there all day long and say it, but it doesn't come from the heart any longer. It doesn't come from who you are any longer. So if you're not comfortable, you cannot do that.
Right. And you can stair
Mhm.
step it.
Yes,
Right? So you're
absolutely.
gonna like, okay, this is the trip I want to lead. This is how much that trip costs. Let's put it out there. I feel in alignment with it and we'll see how it lands. Okay.
Okay,
Only
what I
if it,
thought you meant by stair stepping it is something that I worked with with one of my clients, and she was doing cruises at the time. And I said to her, you know, if you do start stair stepping, now I don't know if this is what you were talking about, Wendy, but let's say the cruise is 1,500. I'm making all these
Sure.
numbers up. I have
Yeah.
no idea. But the cruise that she was planning is 1,500. And then she comes back with, however, if you would like dinner with the cruise guy, I don't know, I see, I don't even know what I'm talking
Right.
about. Well,
At
then
the
it will
captain's
be
table.
okay, there at the captain's table, then it will be 2,000. However, if you want a one-on-one instructional time with me during our 7-day trip, that will be 4,000. I mean, it's your highest number, whatever that is. And by the way, you'll be in our community afterwards, and we will be following up with you after it. The cruise is not the end of it for you, if in fact you sign up for our highest ticket. Is that what you meant by the stair stepping?
Um, I did not. What I meant, but I appreciate that because that is, upselling for each individual for what they want. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that model because you're providing something for people at different price points,
Yes.
and you are inviting that there's more value with the higher price point. And
Mm-hmm.
I do that in my service-based offerings where it's
Okay.
my expertise that it's just how many hours of me are you going to get. But for my trips, the stair stepping is okay, we're going to stay at this hotel.
Oh, I see.
So that price makes it this, but as I go there more often and I learn more things and I learn about this other hotel, so now, like you can come this year and it costs this much. Next year it's going to be more expensive because we're slowly upgrading. I'm like bringing that community up with me as I learn more about
Mm-hmm.
this
Okay.
fabulous city that I keep coming back to. It's like, oh, okay, well, this was the price point. And I didn't, for example, with Paris, I did my beta trip in October of 2021. So the hotels were very, very happy to have someone stay in them in
Mm-hmm. I bet.
2021.
Yeah.
In 2026, the hotel, it's 4 times the amount of the
Oh,
same
wow.
hotel. So if you went on my very first trip, God bless you. You got a really sweet deal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it has increased the cost has increased, but the value has increased as well because I
Mm-hmm.
have more experience in the city. I've made more connections with these beautiful collaborators. I know what I'm doing. So we get to, it's not like you have to price your items at your aspirational annual income, right? Like you get to stair step it and have your vibration rise to
Mm-hmm.
match where you are to be in alignment so that you are making that annual income.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And what makes sense the most, though, that you said, Wendy, is uh, but that's not what I want to do. That's not how I want to do it. So I want to be comfortable with that. And I cannot stress that enough in the whole idea of working less, making more, doing what you love. It has to come back. You have to constantly be checking in with yourself. Am I comfortable with this? Do I feel good about this? Do I feel like I can get the results that I'm promising with this? It's asking all of those questions of yourself so that you feel very comfortable in on the ride that you're about to go on. Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to feel it first.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh my gosh. Patricia, you're so fun. I have loved this conversation.
Yes,
Thank you
I have
so
too,
much.
Wendy.
Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, listen to the podcast, read all the books. 14 of them is what I know about.
And so I'm Patricia at patriciadrain.com. I'm on all the social media as most people are today, but probably my favorite thing for people to go is to go on yourgiftisyourniche.com and read about it. See if it resonates with you or with maybe even one of your children. Uh, to have that help, not only to find out your personality traits, because that's important to find out your personality. And there are so many personality tests out there today that I love, and they're telling people, and more successful people are self-aware. So I'm thrilled for that. But I think that your gift is your niche might be the only one that's actually teaching you how to take those personality traits and gifts and talents and make an income with it so that you can maybe be doing something on the side as you're working your job, or maybe it's at your job that all of these things are right there for you and you get paid like I did when I was a school teacher. I couldn't believe I got paid to do this because they didn't pay the little people that were there. And so
Right.
that's what you want is what I had and didn't even realize that that was a calling of mine. And like I say, here I am doing it all these years later, and we're just taller people.
Right. Oh my
We're
gosh.
we're not Amelia's size right now. We got
Right.
tall.
Yes. Oh, it's so good. Well, I'm going to go to the website as well and take the test and let's see how we expand this fabulous empire. It's so good. Thank you so much for your time, Patricia.
Thank you, Wendy. It was wonderful.